The rear bumper is made out of a 2x6 rectangular tubing. It's filled with wheel balance weights, and it weighs 85 pounds alone.
Ah, damn,
And then I have the battery located in the trunk. That's another 40 pounds. So I got about 120 pounds for weight transfer.
This car is like all my ex-girlfriends. All the weight's just in the back. You know what I mean? I knew I liked this car for a reason. All right, Skeeter White here. We got a hot rod that I'm very proud of just standing next to. What's your name, brother?
Jack Spittler.
Jack Spittler. Why don't you tell us about this car right here?
This is a 1960 Chevy Impala, former gasser out of the Chicago area that was raced in the 60s by two brothers. And it raced up in northern Illinois and Indiana at AHRA with a combination of 348 and 409 horsepower. From what I understand from the guy I bought the car from, it turned the 1050s, and he sold it to a person, and they was in the process of gutting the interior to put a roll bar in it, and they lost interest in it. So the car's been sitting up in northern Illinois for about 40 years, and it was nowhere near in this shape in that. So I had it shipped down here. I bought this car in, I think it was 2015. The fenders were inside the car. The inside of the car was completely gutted, no floor pans. I had a 1960 Impala in 1965 when I graduated high school, and I wanted to replicate it. It was painted the same color, silver bottom with a white top, had a little 283 Power Glide in it, and that's why I bought this here car.
I got you. Now you said this is an old drag race, you gas a car, so is it still got that same amount of horsepower?
Yeah, well, recently I had a 409 rebuilt by Lamar Walden Automotive in Georgia. It has a roller cam in it. It has the 2.4 barrels, and again, it's street driven. I drive it on the street. It's a street legal in that. I wasn't concerned about putting a whole new complete interior in it. I just wanted to, put the tin work in it, and with a couple of van seats, kind of like what they did in the 60s. And I've had this 409 since 1987. I bought it down in Fort Lauderdale, Davie area. And I had installed it a 67 Camaro that I do have. Was a gasser, and I more or less lowered it some, and I've made a what they call a street freak out of it. So
gotcha. Yeah, street freak. You know how you know it's a street freak? When it's sitting still and it's already doing a wheelie. You know what I mean? That's what I love about gassers, man. They let you know what they're gonna do before they do it.
Yeah. I've only the car right now has only got about 25 miles on the engine and that, so I've not had it up to a drag strip yet. It was dynoed with 500 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. That was dynoed from Lamar Walden engines up in Georgia.
I got you. Now, Skeeter White is one that loves some redneck ingenuity, and I'm looking in the engine bay, and I see some like AC ducts. You know what I mean? I see some home appliance, things that are kind of what's going on with that?
The reason for that is what they call forced induction. I have air filters in the front, and that's where the engine's being filtered as far as it goes in there. It has a Richmond Super T10 4-speed in it, and it has a Curry 9-inch with 456 gears in it, with the ladder bars. None of that was on the car. In the car when I bought it. So,
right.
But that's mainly what the reason for this is. I didn't mean to reiterate what you're saying, Rob, but and they did that in the 60s for cold air coming into the engine.
Yeah, so all these new school dorks out there with their cold air intakes, take some notes.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and some of the cold air intakes in that, they're coming right from the factory with that 500, 600, 700 horsepower plus as far as that goes. So, but this is more homemade.
Yeah, homemade from home appliance stores and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you go to Lowe's and buy the ductwork.
I get all my performance parts from Lowe's and Home Depot. You know what I mean? That's just how we do it.
Oh yeah. Do you have a car here too then yourself?
Oh, I got a 1978 Chevrolet Camaro Type LT with the mullet drive 305. I know you said this was an old race car. You think this can beat my car in a race?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You have no idea. I do. You gave me the times. You got to shave a couple seconds off, brother. I don't know if you'll be able to touch mine. that 1978, you know, small block Chevrolet technology, you know?
You have 4-speed in it or automatic? Or?
No, I got 1-speed, fast.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? That's just how I do.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. What's going on with the hood, man? Because this don't open like no Impala hood I've seen.
Yes. The engine, when it came to me, the car had no firewall in it. That was gutted out years ago in that. So I believe originally the hinges were mounted on the firewall or near the firewall, but this didn't have any provisions for that. And so it's a friend of mine suggested that, well, why don't you just go ahead and lift it up from the side, and it's a fiberglass hood and a fiberglass deck lid. Now the fiberglass deck lid is on factory hinges where I can just open it up and I put a prop rod in it. But this here is there was really no provision for to have a stock hood. It did come with a stock hood, but it was in bad condition. It was really heavy in that. So it's kind of all about saving weight in the front end. The fenders are steel, but yeah.
All American steel, all American real. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, I know it's basically got no interior. You know, again, go to Lowe's, Home Depot, get you some sheet metal, just tack it in there. You plan on upgrading that all in the future?
I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I've got headliner for it. I have a friend that does headliner work, interior work, along down the line. When he can find the time, I may go ahead and have that installed in the car.
I got you.
So,
I got you. Now, again, Impala. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever seen some rap videos from the 90s, man. Usually they got hydraulics. They're bouncing all over the place. No plans for that?
Some people may question it of its, whether it's an Impala or not. There is some chrome strips that go along the side here. But I haven't, it wasn't that much of a priority for me to find the original chrome. It is aftermarket in that, but it's a bit pricey in that, so I just soon leave it the way it is. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, you sound like you're a man that's got your priorities in order, because you got this thing running fast, but no interior. You don't care about the side trim.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, some of the gases people nowadays will go ahead and put an interior in that, but back in the '60s, they tried to make them as light as possible, and that. So. You
know what we call those people? Posers. The real gassers, man. You just strip it all out, man. Just go as fast as you can. You know what I'm saying?
The rear bumper is made out of a 2x6 rectangular tubing, but it's filled with wheel balance weights, and it weighs 85 pounds alone.
Ah, damn.
And then I have the battery located in the trunk. That's another 40 pounds. So I got about 120 pounds for weight transfer to help it. And again, when the car came to me, the motor mounts, it was up about a foot closer to the front end.
Yeah.
Where here it's moved back.
This car is like all my ex-girlfriends. All the weight's just in the back. You know what I mean? So I can respect it. I knew I liked this car for a reason. You know what I mean? Now, what are the future plans for the car? I know you said that you hadn't got it to the track yet.
The future plans is I would like to take it to the drag strip to see because the engine builder, I told him I wanted to make a street strip car out of it. I wanted the cam to be nasty, and yes, I still wanted to be able to drive it on the street. I didn't want it to be real healthy in that, as far as I'm not going to try to drive it to Daytona, but for me to drive it from here, maybe up to Dade City for a car show, that's the way I built it and that. So
I got you.
And had to help build it. Build it from John Lowers. He's in Lakeland, so.
I got you. All right, man. Anything else you want to say about the car?
Not that I can think of, no.
All right. Appreciate the time, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.